Hi everyone! How are you today? Thanks for coming to the English Podcast Cafe. This Sunday is Easter. Do you celebrate Easter? Many people all around the world celebrate Easter, but people might celebrate differently in different countries or cultures. Many people think of Easter as a religious holiday, so a lot of people go to church on Easter. But other people might celebrate Easter just for fun, as a spring holiday. So I wanted to share my experiences with Easter, and I would love to hear about your experiences as well. Easter has always been one of my favorite holidays. I think one reason that I like Easter so much is that it happens in the spring. I really love springtime. The weather is usually nice, and you can usually spend a lot of time outside, so I really love that. When I was young, my family loved to celebrate Easter. We had a lot of fun Easter traditions. Traditions are the special things that you do year after year. For us, Easter was always filled with candy and games and fun. On the Saturday before Easter, we always colored Easter eggs. I think this is a common Easter tradition for a lot of people. First, we had to boil the eggs to cook them. My family is big, so we would make a lot of eggs. My brothers and sisters and I divided up the eggs. Then we made different colors of dye. We always tried to think of the most creative ways that we could dye eggs. We never just dyed them one color. That would be too boring for us. So we made eggs with stripes or drawings on them. We used white crayon to draw or write on the eggs. The crayon shows up on the eggs after you dye them, so we thought that was really cool. We also wrapped rubber bands or tape around the eggs before we put them in the dye. Then after we took them out of the dye, we took off the rubber bands or tape, and that made really fun patterns too. We really loved dyeing Easter eggs. We spent hours doing it, and we thought it was so much fun. Then the next day, we had all these boiled eggs, so we had to eat them. So we usually made sandwiches with them. On Easter Sunday, my family always went to church. Then after church, we came home and made Easter baskets. Each person in my family wrote their name down on a piece of paper, and then we mixed up the names and picked someone else's name. And we made an Easter basket for the person we picked. In the basket, we put lots of chocolates and other candies. Then, after we finished making the baskets, we took turns hiding the baskets. We didn't hide them in easy places. We tried to hide them in the hardest places. After everyone hid their basket, we all looked for our own baskets. And once we found our basket, we could finally eat our candy. Sometimes we hid the baskets in really crazy places. So my family has a lot of fun memories about the craziest places that we hid baskets. We usually played games in the afternoons, and if the weather was nice, we went outside and played. For Easter dinner, we always had ham and potatoes. We had different desserts. One of my favorite Easter desserts was carrot cake. Sometimes we made sugar cookies and decorated the cookies with spring colors. That was fun too. All of my friends did similar things for Easter. They all colored eggs, and they all had Easter baskets. A lot of my friends got new clothes for Easter. Each family had their own traditions, but a lot of things were the same. But I had an interesting Easter experience a few years ago. I went to England at Easter time, and I was really surprised because in England, Easter seemed like a much bigger holiday than it does in the United States. I was in London, and when I walked around or went into stores, there were so many places that had big, beautiful Easter decorations. I don't usually see that where I live. And then the schools in England had an Easter break. I think they had 2 weeks off from school, but where I live, we don't get any time off for Easter. It might be different in other parts of the United States, but where I live, we don't have any days off for Easter. There were also a lot of parties and events going on for Easter when I was in England, so it seemed like a really big holiday there. To me, it felt like what Christmas feels like in the United States. So I thought that was really interesting. Where I live, a lot of people celebrate Easter, but it doesn't feel like such a big holiday. I would love to hear about your Easter stories. If you celebrate Easter, what do you do? Is it a big holiday where you live? Do you have any favorite Easter traditions? You can get more practice by writing your thoughts in the comments. I hope you have a great day, happy Easter, and see you again next time.